What's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages? Today, we're talking about a little bit of PlayStation news just because, well, this isn't dealing with PlayStation, the game inside. It is dealing with a PlayStation IP, and that, of course, being God of War. Now, if you guys didn't hear, a while back, Amazon announced that they were doing a God of War TV show. In fact, from what I heard, it sounded like it's already been greenlit for 2 seasons, which is very interesting because, I guess they really want more fucking video game adaptations over there on Amazon. So that means they have The Boys, which is a comic adaptation, but it's, whatever. You got freaking shows like Vox Machina, Mighty Nine, which, by the way, fantastic shows. Go check them out. They also have some great voice acting cast, just pointing it out. You have the Fallout TV show, Has Been Hotel, Hell of a Boss. Just man, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's kind of hard for me not to have an Amazon subscription because there's also just other good, shows to watch, to kind of just kill time, like The Middle, which I'm kind of starting to get into now because, it's just one of those weird shows. But anyway, going back to God of War, so it's kind of been up in the air lately of what's going on with the show because no one really seemed to know anything about it outside Amazon, 1 and 2 seasons so far. So when a kid, just on a random day, they decide, hey, we're just going to announce that Ryan Hurst is going to be voicing / acting as Kratos. And at first, I was like, who the hell's Ryan Hurst? And then I literally saw a picture, and I'm like, oh my god, I know who that dude is. It's Ope from freaking Sons of Anarchy. And he actually also played Beta from The Walking Dead. And I actually kind of forgot about this one. He's the guy who voices Thor in God of War Ragnarok. And I'm like, wow, that's actually a good casting choice. Because, I was very curious, also just, how they're going to deal with God of War. Because, God of War is one of those franchises, it has a lot of lore, right? We all admit that a lot of the stuff, God of War deals with is also a lot of backstory, especially when it comes to the Greek stuff. Well, it seems like they're just straight up skipping the Greek stuff. Now, for the record, that doesn't mean that they won't cover the Greek stuff in some capacity, but the fact that the synopsis they give us is basically just God of War 2018 tells me that either the Greek stuff's not really going to come into play, or it's going to be just kind of briefly looked over. Now, personally, if I was, making a show, I would have covered the Greek stuff first. Just because I felt like you would get a couple more seasons out of it. You could cover God of War 1, 2, and 3. I know some people say, well, about Chains of Olympus, Ascension, and freaking Blades of Olympus. Sorry if I said the wrong names. But basically the PSP titles in Ascension. And it's I guess you kind of have to cover at least Ascension, because Ascension does actually have some implications for the overall Greek saga. But Chains of Olympus and whatever the other one's called, Ghost of Sparta, I think is the other one. It's just I don't know. I don't know if I would do that. But I would just cover Ascension, God of War Original, God of War 2, God of War 3, then to 2018 and Ragnarok. I mean, right there, that's at least 5 seasons worth of content. But it seems like they're jumping to 2018 because that's the most recognizable version of God of War right now. And I kind of get that because, you do kind of want to use the, I guess you would say, mass appeal that God of War has. But it's still I do think it's a little suspicious. And I'm like, this makes me a little worried. That's they're just jumping, kind of almost in the middle point, to be honest, of what is a potential other saga, this whole God of War saga, and just because of brand recognition. But who knows? It could turn out to be a great show. They haven't announced who's going to be playing Atreus, or Freya, or Odin, or anyone else, although Odin doesn't show up to God of War Ragnarok. But personally, and this is something I wish they would do with The Last of Us Season 2, is I wish we would have got to see more of the villains and more of their side of the story, or just give us more backstory into maybe Kratos' wife, Atreus' mother, and understand how they actually met. I would like to see that. I know there's also comics that kind of cover some of the stuff too. It's just like I just never read the comics, but I actually know for a fact there is a comic for God of War pre 2018 that covers some of the stuff. But also there's a comic that covers how Kratos kind of got to Norse mythology, but they don't outright tell us. But it's like they kind of, it's just a whole different thing. But yeah, just yeah, God of War 2018, God of War Amazon. I'm excited for the show, but I'm not so excited that I'm gonna sit there, jump up and down every time there's bad news. I just figured this is something to talk about because hey, I don't really have a lot to talk about when it comes to content, and I feel bad about that. So I got other video in the works, but that might take a little bit longer. But until next time, guys, let me know what you think about Ryan Hurst playing Kratos. Personally, I think it's a good physical choice. I just wonder, like, if he's going to be able to capture that same energy Christopher Judge has. But then again, I don't know. Hey, maybe Christopher Judge will make a cameo appearance, just like how Nathan Drake did for the Uncharted movie. So here's hoping. So until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and all that YouTube Ireland BS. Bye.